Chapter 6. Beware of doing your kind deeds before men, in order to be seen by them. Otherwise, you have no reward from your Father in the heavens. Thus, when you do a kind deed, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do, in the congregations and in the streets, to be praised by men. Truly, I say to you, they have their reward. But when you do a kind deed, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your kind deed shall be in secret. And your Father who sees in secret shall himself reward you openly. And when you pray, you shall not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray, standing in the congregations and in the corners of the streets to be seen by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. But you, when you pray, go into your room, and having shut your door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place. And your Father who sees in secret shall reward you openly. And when praying, do not keep on babbling like the Gentiles, for they think they shall be heard for their many words. Therefore, do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. This, then, is the way you should pray. Our Father, who is in the heavens, let your name be set apart. Let your reign come. Let your desire be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into trial, but deliver us from the wicked one. Because yours is the reign and the power and the esteem forever. Amen. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father shall also forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither shall your Father forgive your trespasses. And when you fast, do not be sad-faced like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces, so that they appear to be fasting to men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that you do not appear to men to be fasting, but to your Father who is in the secret place. And your Father who sees in secret shall reward you openly. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart shall be also. The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is good, all your body shall be enlightened. But if your eye is evil, all your body shall be darkened. If then the light that is within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? No one is able to serve two masters, for he shall either hate the one and love the other, or else he shall cleave to the one and despise the other. You are not able to serve Elohim and Mammon. Because of this, I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, or about your body, what you shall put on. Is not life more than the food, and the body more than the clothing? Look at the birds of the heaven, for they neither sow nor reap nor gather into storehouses, yet your heavenly Father does feed them. Are you not worth more than they? And which of you, by worrying, is able to add 1 cubit to his lifespan? So why do you worry about clothing? Note well the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. And I say to you that even Shalomo, in all his esteem, was not dressed like one of these. But if Elohim so clothes the grass of the field, which exists today, and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, How much more you, O you of little belief? Do not worry then, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For all these Gentiles seek for, and your heavenly Father knows that you need all these. But seek first the reign of Elohim and his righteousness, and all these matters shall be added to you. Do not then worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow shall have its own worries. Each day has enough evil of itself. Chapter 7. Do not judge, lest you be judged. For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. And with the same measure you use, it shall be measured to you. And why do you look at the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not notice the plank in your own eye? Or how is it that you say to your brother, let me remove the splinter out of your eye, and see a plank is in your own eye? Hypocrite! First remove the plank from your own eye, and then you shall see clearly to remove the splinter out of your brother's eye. Do not give what is set apart to the dogs, nor throw your pearls before the pigs, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn and tear you in pieces. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it shall be opened. Or is there a man among you who, if his son asks for bread, shall give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, shall he give him a snake? If you then, being wicked, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more shall your Father, who is in the heavens, give what is good to those who ask him? Therefore, whatever you wish men to do to you, do also to them, for this is the Torah and the prophets. Enter in through the narrow gate, because the gate is wide and the way is broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who enter in through it. Because the gate is narrow and the way is hard pressed, which leads to life, and there are few who find it. But beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are savage wolves. By their fruits you shall know them. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? So every good tree yields good fruit, but a rotten tree yields wicked fruit. A good tree is unable to yield wicked fruit, and a rotten tree to yield good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So then, by their fruits you shall know them. Not everyone who says to me, Master, Master, shall enter into the reign of the heavens, but he who is doing the desire of my Father in the heavens. Many shall say to me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and done many mighty works in your name? And then I shall declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who work lawlessness. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them shall be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain came, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them shall be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and they beat on that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. And it came to be, when Yahushua had ended these words, that the people were astonished at his teaching, for he was teaching them as one possessing authority, and not as the scribes. Chapter 8. And when he came down from the mountain, large followed him. And see, a leper came and bowed before him, saying, Master, if you desire, you are able to make me clean. And stretching out his hand, Yahusha touched him, saying, I desire it. Be cleansed. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Yahusha said to him, See, mention it to no one, but go your way and show yourself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moshe commanded, as a witness to them. And when Yahusha had entered Capharnaum, a captain came to him, appealing to him, saying, Master, my servant is lying in the house, paralyzed, grievously tortured. And Yahusha said to him, I shall come and heal him. And the captain, answering, said, Master, I am not worthy that you should come under my roof, but only say a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I too am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this one, Go, and he goes, and to another, Come, and he comes, and to my servant, Do this, and he does it. And when Yahusha heard, he marveled, and said to those who followed, Truly I say to you, not even in Israel have I found such great belief. And I say to you that many shall come from east and west and sit down with Abraham and Yitzchak and Yaakov in the reign of the heavens. But the sons of the reign shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And Yahusha said to the captain, Go, and as you have believed, so let it be done for you. And his servant was healed that hour. And when Yahusha had come into the house of Kepha, he saw his wife's mother lying sick with inflammation. And he touched her hand, and the inflammation left her, and she arose and served them. And when evening had come, they brought to him many who were demon-possessed. And he cast out the spirits with a word, and healed all who were sick, that it might be filled what was spoken by Yeshayahu the prophet, saying, He himself took our weaknesses and bore our sicknesses. And when Yahusha saw large crowds about him, he gave a command to go off to the other side. And a certain scribe, having come near, said to him, Teacher, I shall follow you wherever you go. And Yahusha said to him, The foxes have holes, and the birds of the heaven nests, but the Son of Adam has nowhere to lay his head. And another of his taught ones said to him, Master, first let me go and bury my father. But Yahusha said to him, Follow me and leave the dead to bury their own dead. And when he entered into a boat, his taught ones followed him. And see, a great gale arose on the sea, so that the boat was covered by the waves, but he was sleeping. And his taught ones came to him and woke him up, saying, Master, save us! We are perishing. And he said to them, Why are you afraid, O you of little belief?
I'm waiting for those other guys to show up. Y'all should be in Tourist Bay and Gerald Thornhill and the other ones that sent the link, man. They still haven't shown up yet.
What is this? That even the winds and the sea obey him. And when he came to the other side,
like 15 minutes. Let me give him a call. I sent it to Benaiah also, man.
Met him, coming out of the tombs, very fierce, so that no one was able to pass that way. And see, they cried out, saying,
What have we to do with Yahusha, son of Elohim? Have you come to torture us before the appointed time?
And at a distance from them, there was a herd of many pigs feeding. And the demons begged him, saying,
If you cast us out, send us into the herd of pigs.
And he said to them, Go. And they, coming out, went into the herd of pigs. And see, the entire herd of pigs rushed down to the steep place into the sea, and died in the water. And the herdsmen fled, and went away into the city, and reported all this, and about those possessed by demons. And see, all the city came out to meet Yahusha. And when they saw him, they begged him to leave their borders.
What time are you supposed to get it?
So I'll be here. My train comes at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna be there early. We'll be there by like 7, so I have an hour to
Chapter
myself.
1.
And then
I mean, 7 at night or 7 in
Is
the
the
morning?
genealogy of Yahusha Messiah,
7 in the rising.
son of
My train
Daud,
will be here, but
son of
it's a
Abraham.
12-hour ride, so I won't be over there.
Abraham brought forth Yitzchak, and Yitzchak brought forth Yaakov. And Yaakov brought forth Yehuda and his brothers. And Yehuda brought forth Perez and Zerah by
All right,
Tamar.
so I'm on the ride now, man. I'm waiting for you to
Hetzron.
come on.
And Hetzron brought forth Ram. And Ram brought forth Aminadab. And Aminadab brought forth
You guys should be trying to reach out to Benai.
And Nashon brought forth
Torch is going to be on in a second.
And
Carl.
Ram brought forth Boaz.
You already contacted Daryl?
And Boaz
No,
brought
I didn't
forth
I
Obed
forgot him.
by Ruth.
I'm ringing him right now.
And Obed brought forth Yeshua. And Yeshua brought forth Daud, the sovereign. And Daud, the sovereign, brought forth Shalomo by Uriah's wife. And Shalomo brought forth Rehoboam. And Rehoboam brought forth Abiah. And Abiah brought forth Asa. And Asa brought forth Jehoshaphat. And Jehoshaphat brought forth Joram. And Joram brought forth Uzziah. And Uzziah brought forth Jotham. And Jotham brought forth Ahaz. And Ahaz brought forth Hizkiyahu. And Hizkiyahu brought forth Manasseh. And Manasseh brought forth Amon. And Amon brought forth Yoshiyahu. And Yoshiyahu brought forth Yekaniah and his brothers at the time of the exile to Babel. And after the exile to Babel, Yekaniah brought forth Shealtiel. And Shealtiel brought forth Zerubbabel. And Zerubbabel brought forth Abihud. And Abihud brought forth Eliakim. And Eliakim brought forth Azor. And Azor brought forth Sadok. And Sadok brought forth Akim. And Akim brought forth Elihud. And Elihud brought forth Eleazar. And Eleazar brought forth Matan. And Matan brought forth Yaakov. And Yaakov brought forth Joseph, the husband of Miriam, of whom was born Yahusha, who is called Messiah. So all the generations from Abraham to Daud were 14 generations. And from Daud until the exile to Babel were 14 generations. And from the exile to Babel until the Messiah were 14 generations. But the birth of Yahusha Messiah was as follows. After his mother Miriam was engaged to Joseph, before they came together, she was found to be pregnant from the set-apart spirit. And Joseph, her husband, being righteous and not wishing to make a show of her, had in mind to put her away secretly. But while he thought about this, see, a messenger of Yahuwah appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of Daud, do not be afraid to take Miriam as your wife, for that which is in her was brought forth from the set-apart spirit. And she shall give birth to a son, and you shall call his name Yahusha, for he shall save his people from their sins. And all this came to be in order to fill what was spoken by Yahuwah through the prophet, saying, See, a maiden shall conceive, and she shall give birth to a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel. which translated means El with us. And Joseph, awaking from his sleep, did as the messenger of Yahuwah commanded him, and took his wife, but knew her not until she gave birth to her son, the firstborn, and he called his name Yahusha. Chapter 2.
Shalom. Ephraim, you got anything you want to bring out?
Having been born
Shalom,
in
shalom.
Bethlehem of Yehuda,
No, just grateful for another Bible study today, and all praise to the Most High. You know, I'm excited for the trip tomorrow.
saying, where is he who has been born sovereign?
We got a hold of Will. Will's on his way on, and I left a message with Daryl.
Go ahead, hold it in my head, man. A minute now. Back and forth. And I bought some new 511 BDUs, man. Put a towel in there working it in. Towel got all over the BDUs, man. That's a lot of lint. Brand new, because I couldn't find my other one, man. Storage. You guys got anything you want to say to the people? David, are you on here? I have your zeets. Just make sure they had that bread for you. I have your zeets in your turban. Hey, Taurus, if you got a headpiece, man, I'll happily buy one of them more for you, man. Like a crown or something.
What was that, King?
I said, if you have any crowns or anything like that, I'm happy to buy one of them off of you. You know the crowns that go on the turban.
Right. Yeah, I'll see what I have.
Hey, man, I'm going to give them about 5 more minutes, man. Otherwise, we'll get started with Father, man. We want to say shalom to everyone, man. We're going to go into some real true Bible study, man.
Of the Yahudim, for we saw his star in the east and have come to do reverence to him. And Herod's the sovereign, having heard, was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And having gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. And they said to him, in Bethlehem of Yehuda, for thus it has been written by the prophet. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Yehuda, you are by no means least among the rulers of Yehuda. For out of you shall come a ruler who shall shepherd my people, Israel. Then Herod the sovereign, having called the Magi secretly, learned exactly from them what time the star appeared. And having sent them to Bethlehem, he said, go and search diligently for the child. And when you have found him, bring back word to me so that I too may go and do reverence to him. And having heard the sovereign, they went. And see, the star which they had seen in the east went before them, until it came and stood over where the child was. And seeing the star, they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. And coming into the house, they saw the child with Miriam, his mother, and fell down and did reverence to him. And opening their treasures, they presented to him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream that they should not return to Herod's, they departed for their own country by another way. And when they had left, see, a messenger of Yahuwah appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise, take the child and his mother, and flee to Mitzrayim, and remain there until I bring you word. For Herod is about to seek the child to destroy him. And rising up, he took the child and his mother by night, and departed from Mitzrayim, and remained there until the death of Herod, to fill what was spoken by Yahuwah through the prophet, saying, out of Mitzrayim I have called my son. Then Herod, having seen that he was fooled by the Magi, was greatly enraged. And he sent forth and slew all the male children in Bethlehem and in all its borders, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had exactly learnt from the Magi. Then was filled what was spoken by Yirmiyahu the prophet, saying, a voice was heard in Ramah, wailing and weeping and great mourning. Rahel weeping for her children, refusing to be comforted, because they were no more. And Herod's having died, see, a messenger of Yahuwah appeared in a dream to Joseph in Mitzrayim, saying, arise and take the child and his mother and go into the land of Israel, for those seeking the life of the child are dead. And rising up, he took the child and his mother and came into the land of Israel. But hearing that Archelaus was reigning over Yehuda instead of his father Herod's, he was afraid to go there. And having been warned in a dream, he departed for the parts of Galilee, and came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, thus to fill what was spoken by the prophets. He shall be called a Nazarene. Chapter 3. And in those days, Yohanan the Immerser came proclaiming in the wilderness of Yehuda, and saying, repent, for the reign of the heavens has come near. For this is he who was spoken of by the prophet Yeshayahu, saying, a voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of Yahuwah, make his paths straight. And Yohanan, having a garment of camel's hair and a leather girdle around his waist, and his food was locusts and wild honey. Then Jerusalem and all Yehuda and all the country around the Yarden went out to him, and they were immersed by him in the Yarden, confessing their sins. And seeing many of the Pharisees and Sadducees coming to his immersion, he said to them, brood of adders, who has warned you to flee from the coming wrath? Bear, therefore, fruits worthy of repentance, and do not think to say to yourselves, we have Abraham as our father. For I say to you that Elohim is able to raise up children to Abraham from these stones. And the axe is already laid to the root of the trees. Every tree, then, which does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. I indeed immerse you in water unto repentance. But he who is coming after me is mightier than I, whose sandals I am not worthy to bear. He shall immerse you in the set-apart spirit and fire. His winnowing fork is in his hand. He shall thoroughly cleanse his threshing floor and gather his wheat into the storehouse. But the chaff he shall burn with unquenchable fire. Then Yahusha came to Galilee, to Yohanan, at the Yarden, to be immersed by him. But Yohanan was hindering him, saying, I need to be immersed by you.
All right, shalom, 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 shalom. So we got Benai in here. Dear probably won't show up. Man. So we're gonna go into a very controversial topic, but a much needed topic. And we're gonna talk about tail bearing. When Satan gets in women or wives, when Satan gets in women, the spirit of Nakash, the snake, gets in women. Very, very, very much needed topic, very controversial. You guys heard me say again and again, if you don't keep a woman in the Bible, then she's very apt to cling towards evil. And some of you, you think I'm being a misogynist, as you love to say, or a male chauvinist, but I'm just being truthful according to what the scriptures say, right? you got to keep her in straightly. See, the woman in the garden made a covenant with the devil. And I'm going to tell each one of you men, all of you that think that, oh, no, not my woman. My woman wouldn't do that. I'm here to warn you, man. See, the scriptures is right and exact, and the scriptures are very clear. When you
Oh man, the KAHAN fell out. Probably be on momentarily. Go ahead and give him a minute. But yeah, please do pay very close attention to the message that's going to be coming forth, and stay in them scriptures. They're not there just, you know, for no reason. And they've been there for, you know, for thousands of years. This is not something that happens that's just you know, like happenstance or whatever the case is. It is the truth, and there's only one truth. So yeah, please do pay very close attention.
Khan, shalom, shalom, Akim. Very important message going forth.
Looks like the KAHAN's having some connection issues, possibly. But I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know. Just be prepared. Oh, he also said he's going to bring up being a talebearer, and that's basically, you know, telling a story, you know, in the law to basically fit a situation to cater to you, and or whatever you want, you know, someone to feel for you, despite what the true facts may actually be. So just pay very close attention, based on the fact that the premise of the message is, you know, surrounding marriage. So just be ready to go over 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Definitely gonna hit up 1 Timothy chapter 3, probably a little bit of chapter 4, Ephesians 5, and Ecclesiasticus, you know, all that. So just stand by, be patient. Khan will be back on, but you know they're coming. Know they're coming.
All right, man. That was really weird. Your browser can't access your device. He's at work. He's hard at work, man. You can't stop this truth, man. It's going in and out, man. So that mic cord bent already. It's a brand new mic cord. All right, nevertheless, man. So we're gonna get back to this, man. Before, so with my mic.
I mean, you do sound good though, just so you know.
Yeah, through my. That got bent already. All right, it should be pretty loud now. All right, so once again, man, we're gonna go into this very controversial topic. We could get to it. So once again, I'll try it again. We're gonna talk about protecting your marriage from outside intruders. See, that's a typo right there. It says WIN. It should say WHEN. When the devil gets in women. We know something with my headphones. We know y'all don't like that, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna go into it. When Shaitan, Satan, the devil, the dragon, the serpent gets in women. This is what happened. Now, first thing I want to say, man, is that a woman, you can't do what your husband do. The Most High didn't make it that way. The husband is supposed to be the head of that household. Someone get me, and so any woman that really wants to learn the truth, if you listen to this channel and you haven't figured this out, you don't really want the truth. You're just wicked. I'm going to just tell you what it is. You're wicked. So if you're partaking in any kind of event where a woman is backbiting her husband and you're listening to that and you're not offering her any correction, it's because the spirit of Satan is on you also. When someone is going out of line, if that's really your sister, that becomes your responsibility not to support that folly, but to check her and let her know that you have no, what's the word? You had nothing to do with how a man control his household. If you really want to help her, you would tell her to obey her husband. Unless the man is beating the hell out of her or something and trying to take her life, she's not to go outside of that home to some third party. That's off. And any woman that tell you that and she turn around and trying to come out of her mouth with scripture is a damn demon. And her spirit is off as hell. Her spirit is off as hell. So we're going to talk about that because, there's a lot of tale-bearing going on, right? Gossip, right? And people paint a fake narrative, right? Now, how could you be claiming to be this, you loving your husband, but you're trying to backbite him to a group of women? And this is why the scriptures say, see, this is why men has to take heed. This is why the scriptures rule like they do. And this is why if you manage to just miraculously end up with a virtuous wife, you got to consider that thing a blessing. You got to consider that a blessing. So the first thing we're going to start out with is the book of Sirach in the Apocrypha, 26th chapter, verse 1. See, when a man has a wife that's not always debating, that's always trying to dictate, let me say this to you women. You do not control that home. The moment that you think that you could control that home or you could tell your husband what to do, you're out of order. That is masculine energy and you're sinning, and the Most High is no longer hearing your prayers. So let's first start with John, Yakanan, 9 and 31. When a woman stops listening to her husband, the Most High is not hearing your prayers. Let's get Yakanan 9 and 31 to prove all things, man. John. And then we're going to go to Sirach, but I need that precept
I got it.
Set your house in order. And Edris. Go ahead.
Book of Yachanan, John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that Yahweh heareth not sinners.
Okay. So what is sin? What is sin, Taurus? We'll put this thing together, man, and it's going to make a lot of sense. What is sin? What is sin, Ephraim?
Sin's going against the commandments of
It's
Yahweh.
it's breaking the commandments. Now, did the Most High give the woman a commandment to obey her husband?
Come.
Yes, he
Come.
did. Let's get Genesis 3 and 16 to prove it. Genesis 3 and 16. Let's prove it. He gave her he gave her an ultimatum, not an option. And so whenever you don't do that, guess what? You're sinning. And when you get on your knees and pray, the Most High is not hearing your prayers. Yeah. Do you understand your husband's like God to you? Do you understand that? See, the Most High put that thing together. You think you made a choice, but it couldn't have happened unless he allowed it. He put that thing together. Let's get it, man. Genesis 3 and 16.
Come
It's
on.
been 9, man. I haven't heard him read in like 6 months.
Yeah, been a little minute. It's the book of Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
You see that? Now, what does that mean? See, you guys think, when you understand the scriptures from that perspective, it says, when it says thou desire shall be unto thy husband, that means she's going to desire to overthrow her husband. She has a desire to always trying to conquer the man. That's why these women are so wicked and out of pocket, man. That desire shall be unto thy husband. Means she wants to be the man. And he shall rule over you, though. But she's always going to have this insatiable desire to try and rule the man. That desire shall be unto thy husband. She's going to desire to be him. She wants to overthrow him. She wants to be the man. And we see it consistently in this society. She's fixing her mouth in that she's obeying and sending her soul to hell every time she disobey her husband. The Most High just gave her a directive right here. And he shall rule over thee. And in order for him to rule over you, you got to submit. You know, the only kind of woman that don't want to submit to a righteous man is a devil. I'm going to tell you straight. That's the damn devil. And the only thing she's doing is reciting scriptures through the spirit of High Shaitan. That's who's guiding that woman. Anytime a woman go out and talk about her husband to other women, that's the damn devil. And if any of you women had any kind of righteous spirit on you, you would check her. You would check her. See, that's the spirit of Hamashiach. He tells you not to be a talebearer. That the Most High gives a directive of how things are to be handled in a marriage. And there's no time that he gives a woman the authority to go outside of her home. If her and her husband is to go before counsel, that thing right there is a mutual decision because all of her counsel is supposed to come from her husband. If you will learn anything, let them learn at home from their husbands. So if your husband don't want to talk, you calm your ass down and you sit down until he's ready to talk. How do we know that? 2 Edges 14, verse 13. Usually there's a reason he doesn't want to talk. That means you pushed him into a corner. He's trying to talk, but you wouldn't listen because you're busy talking. And you wonder why he's running off with someone else. Because he can't get peace at home. 2 Edges 14, verse 13, man. In the Apocrypha.
Book of 2 Esdras, chapter 14, verse 13. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption.
So the Most High is telling the man to set his house in order. Listen, man, What the scripture says is you can't teach the body if you can't control that household. So, brothers, you better control that household. If you have an evil woman, she doesn't want to listen to you, you put her away, as the scriptures say. Write her a bill of divorce and put her away. That's the bottom line. There's no buts. You're not to be debating with these women, man. The Most High set you up as headship. That's the job of a man. And the Most High cannot use no weak man that's going to let a woman be up in his face trying to challenge him. Because that's the masculine energy. These women don't know how to be women anymore, man. You're supposed to run homemaking at home from your mom. And your mom's is not doing it because she was wicked. What was the other precept that I needed, man?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 1.
Come on. Sirach 26:1.
Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double.
Okay. So we see from the beginning that if a man has a virtuous wife, what is virtue? That's a woman that has a meek spirit. That's a woman that submits to her husband. That's a woman that's covering herself properly. That's a woman that's not talking to other men. See, a lot of these jobs is going to cause a lot of you women not to make it into the kingdom. Because the Most High don't say, well, yeah, you can deal with the man if it's at work. No, he doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. If you want that kind of job, that means you're supposed to get another type of job. Because that job is causing you to sin. See, when your husband gives you the precepts and scriptures, you'll say he's too jealous because you have wickedness in your heart. He's telling you, thus saith the Most High. So when we read that again, y'all should read the scriptures say what?
Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double.
You hear that, tourist? That means that man's going to live longer than the average man, 2 times as long.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Read on.
Verse 2. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband.
No, she go around and she talk to a body of sisters about her husband, thinking the Most High is not going to bring it back to him.
She rejoiceth her husband.
She rejoices her husband. She enjoys her husband. She rejoices that she's proud that the Most High blessed her to have a husband. Because guess what? The black woman in particular, 75% of you don't have a husband. Then one of you are lucky enough to get one, and you're going to tell bear? Then you're going to act stupid like you didn't know what was going on? You wouldn't talk to me. Well, you go and stay with the women that you talk to. That's how you deal with that. Pack it up and get out. You can't humble yourself, hit the road. Read on.
And he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace.
So I'm going to tell all you men under the sound of my voice, if you're not in peace, if you're not fulfilling the years of your life in peace, because that's telling you right there, your wife is supposed to be your console. She's supposed to bring peace in your life. A virtuous woman. Solomon asked, who could find one? See, that's a rarity. In Proverbs 31:10. So grab that real quick, someone. Proverbs 31, verse 10. He asked the question, who could find one? Because it's a rare thing. Most men don't get it. Because these women are wicked and made covenants with Satan. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Yet you men are still trusting him, man.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
You see that? So he's saying, he's asking a question. Who could find one? Solomon had 1,000 wives, and he said not one of them was virtuous. This man had 1,000, his wives and concubines combined equal to 1,000. He said not one. He couldn't find one righteous. And you guys think this is a game. Like this is just in the Bible for no reason. See, the woman, she won't even admit that she's wicked. She's so wicked. When she's off, she won't even. How many women you know admit to their wrong? They admit to their wrong and come back and then try and justify it again.
Not a single
If you
one.
do not keep them under these scriptures, man, they are all wicked. I don't give a damn who doesn't like it, man. If you don't keep her under the Most High's laws, it is in her to go out and sin, man. We just read it in Genesis 3:16. Her desire is to be Adam, man. Let's get Sirach 25 and 24, man. Sirach 25 and 24. Let me show you this, man. Because a Christian preacher like to lie and say the man brought sin into the world. That's a damn lie, man. The woman did, man. The woman is why you die right now.
The book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
See that? See that? Let's go back to Sirach 26, verse 3. So of the woman came the beginning of sin. See, if you're a real man, you're going to listen to this stuff. You're going to take heed. But if you just some little weak soy boy, man, you don't apply to my woman. And then you get caught up in the end.
God.
That's why the scriptures say keep a sure watch over shameless daughter, man.
Book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 3. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear Yahweh.
See, that's a good portion right there.
Whether a man be rich or poor, if he hath a good heart toward Yahweh, he shall at all times rejoice with a cheerful countenance.
Come on. Shalom, honest drops in. Let's jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fat his bones.
See that? So she's supposed to be discreet, man. Your woman's not supposed to be out there all damn loud, talking to other men. The Most High forbids that thing, man. It's Sirach 9, verse 9. She talking to other men. No, it's just a work friend. It's just a colleague where you're breaking the law. What does the Most High say? So who are you going to obey? You don't obey this world because that's worldly, man. Most of these women, they just talk the Most High with their lips, man. Hamashiach told you about. He said, these people draw near to me with their mouth and their lips, but their hearts are far from me, meaning their minds are far from me. They're just talking, man. They put on holy garments, but you're a damn demon. Why are you covering your head if you're wicked? Now, one of you women, man, if you disobeying your husband, you shouldn't be covering your head because you're wicked. Just walk down the street in the damn thongs, man, with nothing else on.
Because you're not really submitting. That's what that covering is for, showing that you submit to the man or the leader over your life.
Come. Verse 14.
Verse 14. A silent.
A what?
A silent.
A what?
A silent.
A silent. Read on.
And loving woman.
And loving woman.
Is a gift of Yahweh.
You hear that, Taurus? You hear that?
Clear, clear.
A silent and loving. It's not running north. She's trying to get her damn opinion north. Man, shut the hell up. Stop always trying to justify yourself. See, that's a wicked spirit. That's a demon, man. That's a demon. You know, you guys could like it, understand it, but that's a demonic force, man. And she can't control it. That's why she does that. Now, this is not the first time I read these scriptures, man. I've been over these scriptures so many times, man. So if you acting like that, it's a demon in you, and you need to fast and pray to get it the hell up out of you. You loud, man. Read on.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
That means she is to be taught. You see that, Taurus? She is to be taught. But most of these women, you can't tell me a damn thing. See, the modern, you can't tell me nothing woman, that's a surefire way of not getting in the kingdom and busting hell wide open. The modern, you can't tell me nothing. You don't tell me what to do, woman. Which is the average woman, by the way. We don't.
Verse 15. A shamefast and faithful woman.
A shamefaced. Okay, what does that mean, Taurus? That means she's not talking to other men. She acts shy. She's not loud. She ain't on damn chat boards putting your business out there like that, not trying to be the man. The man is in control of that household. We read it. Second Esdras 7 and 14. Therefore, set thy house in order. She's supposed to be shamefaced.
Khan.
Shamefaced, man. Faithful. If you let me ask you this, Taurus. If your woman is going out talking to a clique of girls behind your back, is that faithful? Hell no. Hell no. That's a damn demon.
Right.
That's a demon. That's a damn demon. No matter how much you had the audacity to read scriptures, the damn Bible will burn your hand, man. Let me tell you what that is. See, a lot of these women have the devil in them, right? And when they come in the midst of a man like me, that's always citing scriptures and talking righteous things, it brings the damn devil out of them. Because you know the devil is always warring against the Most High. So that's why they behave like they behave, man. That spirit can't rest around someone like me because I call the truth out. And Satan, what does he do? He always come up with another excuse, trying to justify what he's doing. See, that's the mind of a devil.
Khan. And they always try to get with men like us that's committed to the Most High to see if they could break us, but it's not going to work here.
Khan. Did Satan make them do that, man? They're not even controlling themselves because the demonic possession has taken them over. And they're in denial.
It's real.
Khan.
It's real. A spirit always buck up against when you start bringing out them precepts.
Come. And always trying to justify themselves on the chat board, putting things in, trying to just shut the hell up and learn. If you're talking, that means you're not obeying.
Yep.
See, when someone receives correction, they shut the hell up and they do it, right? How many of you have children, you tell your child to do something, he's still trying to justify what he's doing? Believe it or not, that's the kind of relationship that a husband has with his wife.
Yep.
And I could prove it. Let's get Ephesians 5 and 22 real quick. I could prove it, David.
Book
You
of
hear that,
Ephesians.
David? A woman's husband is like the Most High to her, man. But these women are so wicked, they don't want to receive it. That's why mostly women will be in Hades, because you're a rebellion.
Book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto Yahweh.
You see that? Now, what woman could get out of that right there? That kills everything. How's a woman talking back after she know that scripture? How is she saying any damn thing? That must mean that she's wicked. She's worldly. There's no leeway in that.
Nope.
As into the Most High. So your husband's like God to you, man. If you can't receive that, guess why? It's because you're wicked. Your spirit is off. And the audacity of you to cite scriptures. That's why the scriptures say, how can they know except they have a teacher? We don't. Man, I had a lot of precepts. We're only a little bit in it, man.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ Mashiach is head of the church.
See, in Esau's world, this don't fly. In Esau's world, they are trying to elevate the woman above the man. But I'll be damned if that's going to happen in my household. I'll be damned. These women out here messed up, man. And their mothers are messed up, and their grandmothers are messed up.
Gone.
That's who it started with, that old damn grandma. When she got out of order. Women's liberation. Then they get old. I'm telling you how they are, Yashabin. They played a whore in their youth. Then they get old. And this is why you see the church filled with women, because they know how wicked they've been. And they don't really know so many damn carousels. It's a damn shame. Then they want to walk around in their older age saying no one is holier than thou. No, you's a old hoe. And you're going to pay for those sins, man.
Sure
No, real talk. They're going to pay for that thing, man.
Yeah, they try to hide behind the guise of the church ministries and all that with no
Right.
man.
Use a
Come on, man. Yeah, I see him right, in my hood, man. Even the Edomites, man, they by themselves, Joshua Beam, they all walking dogs, man.
Oh, wow.
They're walking a little damn Yorkshire Terriers, man. And they always try to stop and talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. You damn demon, get the hell away from me. You don't be going through my mind. Why are you alone? How come you don't have a husband? There's another one. She got a husband, and when he's not home at a certain time, she go outside and wait. An old Edomite. Standing there waiting, looking for him to drive in. She probably worried that he's with a young woman because she knows she was wicked in her life.
God.
But for the most part, man, they walking dogs, man. You would think that if you live in this neighborhood and you're a damn woman, you would take heed to that. Yeah, they live in a nice place, but they're alone. They treat the damn dog like it's a child or it's their husband because that's all they got. They ain't got nothing to hug, man. That's a lot of your fates because you don't want to listen to this word. You want to be worldly. But your retribution is coming. Keep going. It's coming. That day is coming. David, you don't have to run. I'm the one that's talking. Go ahead.
And he is the savior of the body.
He's the savior of the body.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Mashiach Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
In everything. And there's no room for debate there, man. I've been over the scriptures many times, man. There's no room for debate there.
Keep going.
No, let's go back to Sirach, man. Sirach 26, verse 16.
Come. Book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 16. As the sun, when it arise in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house.
See that? See that? Most women are not like that. Most women are not like that, man.
No, they got to be coached a lot.
It's sometimes vigorously.
And you put on other supportive material on top of the Bible. Books and you read it into the into your channel.
Shahrazad Ali.
Yeah, about how we
Coming from a woman
about how we ought to deal with one another and the systemic issues that arose between the 60s and the 70s that got us to where we are today. And it's just like going in one ear out the other.
And that's the that's how you know someone is not really trying. That's how you know. Because you got a woman, it's no excuse that you don't know, right? So this is a choice. But there's consequences, man.
Con.
Book of Sirach. Let's get Sirach 25, verse 13. Sirach 25 and 13.
And then they can't find the truth. They act like they can't find the truth, but they can find every bar, every other man, every app, everything else, but can't find the truth.
Right.
Con, the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman.
David, why do you think that's in the Bible?
Because it's true.
Any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman.
You never lied.
See, simps don't take heed to that.
Mm-mm.
See that thing right there, man? When a woman gets wicked, there's nothing compared to it. That's why they got that little slogan from hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Because she's wicked supreme. What could be more wicked when the Most High told you not to do something and you're going to go and listen to the devil? Is there anything more possibly wicked than that?
Nope.
Your creator, well, how the hell you think she's not going to disobey us? She disobey her creator. You men better get your heads on right, man. Any wickedness, but let's jump down to verse 16.
Con, verse 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon.
You see that thing will rip you apart, Benai. A lion and a dragon. That thing will rip you apart. This is Sirach is saying, man, you could let a lion rip my body apart, man. You bring a dragon in there also, man. But just don't bring that damn wicked woman. Now that's heavy, man. When you think about that, you realize how heavy that is? Because a woman is so wicked, man. She will find your weakness and just intentionally do things that hurt you. Look how they do dudes, man. Scream, call the cops and get the man thrown in jail with lies. That's wicked as hell, man.
And then use the children against them.
She'll get a restraining order.
Oh,
Yeah.
And this system, because this system is ran by Satan and she's a product of Satan, they take her word for it and they lock the man up.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I ruins his life.
I read this article that a wife, before a court hearing for a divorce court, she hired a professional like a acting coach to coach the children to lie on their father.
Wow.
Produce tears and everything. And the only way that they got caught is that the children, one of the boys was asking for affirmation at the end of it. Like, did I do good? Did I well, how my tears look real, but he did it in the court.
Wow.
And that's the only thing that like red flagged it for it to be turned the other direction. But up until that point, he was being raped.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild.
Shalaki, are we in Ecclesiastics? Because I didn't have a 25.
Yeah, Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach.
The Apocrypha.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Shalaki.
Sirach 25, verse 16.
I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman.
Mm-hmm.
The wickedness of a woman changeth her face.
That means if she's evil, the woman could be, see what he's saying with this, the woman could be an attractive woman, right? But her wickedness make her look ugly as hell. The wickedness of a woman changes her face.
And darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth.
and darken her face like old rags. Read on.
Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly.
When he hear about she done went out there and sucked this rod and that rod and been with this dude, he cries, man, like a little baby. Like the typical simp.
All
He sighs. Gang.
All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
Did you hear that, David?
I lived it.
All wickedness. Not someday, but all wickedness. The wickedest thing. Taurus, did you hear that, man?
Yeah.
The wickedest thing that
crazy.
you could think of, man, is but little to the wickedness of a woman.
Wow.
You think of whatever you can that's wicked, that's but little to the wickedness of a woman. Read on.
Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her.
Mm-hmm. Read on.
As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man.
Yeah, that's a woman that talks too damn much. She don't know when to shut up. She's putting things all on chat boards, calling people up. See, the Most High hates that thing, man. You know.
Stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
This is what get a lot of these Negroes. She's attractive, they fall for.
And desire her not for pleasure.
Mm-hmm. He just want to have sex with her. Read on.
A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impotency, and much reproach.
Now you could be working and you paying everything for her. She at that flips and you lose your job. If she has to do it for you, women are so wicked they're gonna get mad with you, man. That's what that scripture is saying.
Come. And most of you men are miserable, but you only put up with her because she got a big butt or big boobs or whatever. That's the only reason why you put up with her. You can't even get by like that.
Right. Yep.
A wicked woman abateth the courage and maketh a heavy countenance.
That makes him age, man. The countenance is your face. She caused the man to become feeble. She abated the courage and make a heavy, that man the age, man. He done age.
And a wounded heart.
And then broke his heart. And you knew what she was doing.
A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees.
In other words, it makes you a biatch, a simp. Read on.
Of the woman came the beginning of sin.
There it is.
And through her we all die.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Read on.
Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad.
So you don't give her no, you don't not. She can go out and hang with her friends. She going on to commit adultery. You don't give her no liberty. And okay, so what if she don't want to listen to her? What if she don't want to listen to you, David? What if you keep talking to her? Hey, don't do this, don't do that. The Most High said, put her wicked behind away, man. Get rid of her.
Away. It is written.
Get rid of her.
Come, verse 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go.
You see that? That's crystal clear. Now, many married couples experience that their relationship changes over time, right? You with the woman in the beginning, the honeymoon stage. Everything's beautiful. She folding your clothes, she doing everything. You think you done died and went to heaven. But over time, the relationship begins to change. During the first few years of the relationship, you guys had a splendid time. Many evenings just talking with each other. They wanted to share joys, right? Wanted to share their hurts. Wanted to share their hearts. There was a closeness between the two of you that just made you to want to get to know each other more and more. Both of you were so sure that they found their soulmate. They had been longing for their entire life. But as the relationship progressed, the constraints of everyday life seems to take control of the marriage. Children come in. The woman stopped paying attention to her husband. The sex decrease. The children are not in order. So the sex life starts to wither away. The husband's feeling sexually deprived. She's working on her career. She's coming home late at night. Husband neglected. Friends and relatives. They're spending too much time with friends and relatives. The church. The black woman is in church listening to the hoopla. All very good in themselves. But in the end, a burden these things are for your marriage. So suddenly, the couple has to realize that their relationship revolves around more such things and people than each other. Their closeness between the two seems to have disappeared. And although both spouses realize how much they suffer from that because they allow these third parties to come in, they have no idea how to deal with the emptiness that crept into their marriage. See, these are the outside effects when you allow things and people to come into your marriage. See, the situation that I just described, this is more commonplace than many of you would think. More commonplace than many of you will ever believe. And it cannot be solved by putting the blame on the other spouse. And quite often, both partners have the feeling that they're the only one who invests into the marriage, while the other one just goes on their own. But that is not necessarily the case. Even if both spouses try to make the marriage work, they still may feel an increasing distance between each other. How can this be, you say, Tazadaq? Well, let me tell you. See, the answer is very simple, David. It's more simple than we want to realize. See, what happens is you will allow outside intruders into your marriage. You will allow outside intruders into your marriage because you don't protect your marriage actively. See, many of us, we believe as long as we don't break out of our marriage, nothing bad may enter into it. But that is not so. There are many things in the world that competes for our love. And sometimes these forces are so strong that they get between us and our mate, and it diminishes our relationship. Let me name a few of these intruders that these people often allow to come into their marriage. work, your job, your children. Woman has children. Sometimes a woman forget her husband. Child came out of the man, his loins. She started treating the child. All of her time's going into the child. She's neglecting the husband. Then she'll get upset when he goes and finds someone else. Outside hobbies and interests interfere in your marriage. Sports. Your in-laws. Your damn mom can't shut her damn mouth. Your grandma isn't. Nah, man. That's going to ruin your marriage. Your friends. You texting your sisters in the back. Ding, ding, for advice. Some of your sisters are single. How are their marriage going? You don't mind that. You don't think about that. Are they living righteously? Never mind that. You're just putting your business out there. That interferes with your marriage. You take it into the church. You confess to the preacher. And then he ends up having sex with you because he catches you in an emotional moment. But you knew that would happen. You use it as an excuse. Your financial involvement causes problems in your marriage. The television. You start living your life by the television. You watch something on TV, bring it into your marriage. The internet. You on OnlyFans. The guys on OnlyFans. The women on Facebook and Instagram talking to other men. You play computer games. Shopping. She's going on a shopping spree. The rent can't be paid. Some of you have addictions. And then some of you get involved in adultery. All of these things have a tremendous impact on our marriage. And most of these happen daily. And they can be destructive for a relationship when they come between a couple's love. The pressure, the temptations, and even the genuinely good opportunity coming from the outside are limitless. They don't wait for invitations to intrude into your marriage. They show up by themselves because you allow it in. See, if we want to prevent that from happening, we must become active and protect our marriage. We have to recognize the dangers and put up balanced boundaries before these things come between us and our spouse. We need to learn to say la'ah, no, to them before they have become so strong that we can't seem to fend them off anymore. We must learn to work diligently, but to say no to excessive demands of our boss at work. Your boss don't give a damn. Oh, can you work tonight, Nancy? Oh, yeah, sure. Well, what is your husband going to think? You got to learn to say no to your boss at work. Because these demands will grow if you give in to them. We have to teach limits to our children so that they learn to respect our needs to spend time without them. We have to learn to honor our parents while still being able to say no to them. You understand? Whatever or whoever we're dealing with, we have to make clear that only one human being can have top priority in our life. That's supposed to be your spouse, according to the Bible. Now, none of you could call me a liar. You're supposed to be one, and that is our spouse. See, the later that we start that, the more difficult it will become. But it's never too late to start, brothers and sisters. This is not just a recommendation that comes from experience. It is a commandment from the Most High Yahweh. Let's get it. Matthew 19, verse 6. Don't run now, David. We got the ball too close to the goal line. Matthew 19, verse 6. David, I got your zeet and your turban.
Khan.
Just like the one I'm wearing.
Okay.
Book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 6. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore Yahweh have joined together, let no man put asunder.
So that's crystal clear. The Most High is telling you, don't you let no one come between your marriage. Not mother, not father, not sister, not brother, not your adulterous mate. Nothing, not your job. That's a commandment from the Most High right there. So we must guard our marriage so that the outside world cannot separate it. How many of you are doing that? We must protect it to the core. See, the love between the husband and wife needs to be protected. This doesn't come for free. It will cost us a lot. But our marriage is only as strong as what we're willing to invest into it. You understand? You're only going to get high value out of something that you put high value in. If we do not put a very high value on what will make our marriage grow, then other influences will take over. But if we invest into our marriage and spend time, effort, and sacrifice in protecting our marriage from such influences, then the chances for having a rock-solid marriage are quite high. Again, let's get Matthew 13, verse 45 and 46. Matthew 13, 45 and 46.
Book of Matthew, chapter 13. Oh, you got it, Benai?
Come. It's the book of Matthew. Matirayu. Chapter 13, verse 45 through 46. Again, the kingdom of Shemayim is like unto treasure hid in a field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Again, the kingdom of Shemayim is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls. Verse 46, who when he hath found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it.
Okay. See, the merchant in this parable right here, David, shows us that our attitude towards our relationship, how it should be. It is a pearl that we treasure so highly that we will forsake all others. As many wedding vows say, by the way, this is not easy. We pay a high price to preserve it, but we know it's much more worth than what we pay for. See, marriage is designed to be an exclusive club, right? Of husbands and wives, arrangements that provides a safe place for the spouse's soul. We're dealing with people's souls right here, man. See, there's no space for some intervener in your marriage if you're not married to him. Women are not to allow anything to come from the outside to share an equal space in their marriage, because that could easily disrupt the safety of the relationship. You understand that? See, for instance, a wife may tell her best friend how unhappy she is with her husband. Sound familiar? You get in a text room, you tell your friends or your so-called friends how unhappy you are with your husband's behavior. But out of misunderstood submission, doesn't let him know that she's doing this. Some husbands are more invested in his parents than his wife. As a wife makes her child a confidant and becomes closer to her child than to a husband. See, these situations seldom arise outside of bad intentions, but nevertheless, it betrays the trust between their spouses and it fractures the union that the Most High had intended to develop in the marriage. It's painful and unjust because a third party receives what's due to your spouse. I don't give a damn if that third party is your mother, your father, your child. The Most High, he gave you the directive of who it's supposed to go to, your spouse. Your spouse never hears from you what you tell others about him. See, the Most High hates deception. You going behind your husband back, talking to women, the Most High hates that thing. The Most High hates deception and indirect triangulation because it is honesty and love that builds a marriage, not the recommendations of outsiders. What the hell you doing going, talking to anyone about your husband? The Bible tells us what gossip does. Let's get Proverbs 16 and 28. The Bible tells us that gossip separates close friends. And no friend should be closer than your husband and a wife. The Bible tells us gossip separates that thing. You hear that, Taurus?
Come. Yeah, gossip. Salaki.
Proverbs 16 and 28.
Come.
And a forward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth.
You see that? That's gossip. You see that? And a whisperer, which is gossip, it separates close friends. It will separate your marriage. Gossip will.
Come. Gossip is like opening portals for other people to screw around with your situation and make it even worse.
Let's get Ephesians 4 and 15.
Book of
Ephesians 4 and
Ephesians.
15.
Book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 15. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ, Mashiach.
See, Christ is the head, man. You take this to Christ, man. You're one of your damn friends. See, we may all need close friends, right? In whom we can confide. And who confide in us. But if that drives us away from our spouse, then we are certainly overstepping the line. See, conversely, if you find yourself in a situation where a friend confides in you, but not in their spouse, and you condone that, you're wicked too. So you got to be aware of the dangers of that situation. In spite of your good intentions and willingness to help, you may actually drive the couple apart if you do not insist that your friend talks to their spouse first. Don't come to me with this. You go to your spouse. You go to your husband. Understand that?
Mm-hmm.
See, married love requires a great deal of safety for true intimacy to grow. That friction kills the intimacy. See, as it brings out the most value, the vulnerable and fragile parts of your personality. Where there's safety, we could come out of our isolations and self-centeredness and work together on our individual weakness. But with a third party involved, a so-called friend or mom, your dad, there's not enough safety for these parts to engage and bond between the spouses cannot grow stronger. See, saying no to others, whether to people, things, tasks, might not be easy for you if you're accustomed saying it. Sometimes it's hard work. Sometimes it causes anxiety because you're concerned about what they're going to think more than your spouse. See, you simply don't have the time or resources and energy to do everything you want to do to please everyone around you. If you do, then why isn't your spouse happy? If you don't learn to say no to others, you will eventually find out that you've actually been saying no to your marriage all that damn time. All that time. Let's get Genesis 2:24. Genesis 2:24. You better stop saying no to your marriage, man, and get it together before you be alone.
Book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
Mm-hmm. See, this is not easy, man. A lot of these newlywed couples, man, they feel disheartened to find that they have to say no to so many things to maintain their marriage. Before they got married, they could take care of their career, their friends, their sports. They take all these trips and other activities, but now they're restricted by their marriage, and they almost resent their partners for this because they're still worldly. See, but marriage is not an extension of singleness. Where you take your spouse along, it takes a time to build the connection between the two of you, a lot of time. And this time has to be taken away from others. Marriage means forsaking some freedom in order to gain growth. You can't have both at the same time. If you don't make forsaking a part of your everyday life, you will always run danger of adding the wrong thing, bad influences, to your marriage and subtracting the good, closeness, and honesty. Then you'll complain about it and say, oh, why you don't talk to me? All intruder problems are ultimately caused by either one of the spouse or both of the spouse. They can't get in unless you allow it. Keeping third parties out of our marriage is imperative. Marriage was designed by the Most High as a union between a man and a woman that leads to a more meaningful and fruitful life. Our spouse is our prime address for finding comfort, for finding help, for finding truth and growth. Can you find that in your spouse? If not, it's not right. Marriage was never designed to be the source for our life for us. That would be idolatry. The Most High has to be in that thing. Let's get Colossians 1:17. Colossians 1:17.
Book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 17. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist.
Mm-hmm. What promotes these intruders into our marriage? Usually intruders do not show up unexpectedly. That's a sign. That's typically a sign that something deeper is wrong in your marriage. These intruders, they are the fruit, not the cause of your problem. Even affairs, adultery, right? Even adultery don't simply happen to a marriage that was healthy until the other showed up. See, often other things or people intrude into our marriage when we experience some form of struggle in our marriage. It is not that it hasn't been there all of the time, but now we're more willing to allow them to come between us and our spouse. When a marriage contains a conflict or a hurt, we tend to busy ourselves in other people and activities because that is less painful than facing some seemingly unsolvable problem at home day after day. The problem does not go away, but the activity, the deceit, and the pain seems to fill the vacuum within us. There's other possible reasons for intruders in our marriage. Most of them have to do with weakness in our character, which becomes more apparent as the intimacy between us and our spouse grows. The very nature of emotional intimacy can become one of the reasons for our vulnerability to outside intruders. Intimacy means that you get to know your spouse as he really is, with all his strengths and weakness, positive characteristics and faults, sins and imperfection, because there is no need for barriers. You are the one person who's allowed to see it. And you will discover many aspects of his personality that you never anticipated during the courtship. Even worse, you would discover some negative traits that you would have never believed that he had in his personality, and that you never believed that you had in your own. Let's get 1 Corinthians 13, 7 and 8. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 7 and 8.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verses 7 and 8. Beareth all things, believeth all things.
That's love right there.
Hopeth all things, endure all things. Love.
True love and bear all of that, man.
Love
True
and or
love and
charity.
enjoy all of that, man.
Love and or charity never faileth. But whether there is prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away.
Calm. Yeah, man, I could go on and on, man. But truth is, I'm tired, man. I haven't been getting no sleep for the past 3 nights. I gotta try and travel, man, in the morning, man. So I'm trying to bring this. Bring this to an end, man. Anybody have any thing? David?
No, you spoke the truth today.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah, I hope everyone really listen, not just hearing you know, for the purpose of just passing the time by. Like this right here is the foundation on which families are built. You know, this right here is the strength. This is the start of the strength of a community. It's inside our homes.
Come.
You know, the stronger the family, the stronger the community. The stronger the community, the stronger either the town or village, and it grows from there. You know, but it starts at home. This is where the rubber meets the road. That pressure cooker, that close quarters combat when you're dealing with your demons, and you know, and you need to face them things.
Come.
You know, this is not an easy thing, but the other side is well worth it. But you have to want it. Because them demons are going to make you feel real comfortable. They're going to justify your position, even though you're directly going against what's written in these scriptures and what's being put in your face on a weekly basis.
Come. Hey, Taurus, I still got that crown, man. You gave me in 2017. Both of them.
Khan, I remember. I see, man. It always looked good on you, man. I was glad to give it.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, we can go ahead and shut this down, man. Most high willing, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Looks like most people are getting there pretty late. Yashabin, what time do you think you're gonna ride?
Man, I had some things come up today where a couple of my foremen, they're not gonna be on site tomorrow, so I'm trying to do some running around real early and then head on out. We'll see.
Y'all just remember to bring some raincoats. Look like it's gonna have a lot of rain. For real.
I'll get that poncho.
For real.
And where's my poncho? I'm bringing my rucksack, man. You guys bring your rucksacks?
God.
I'm bringing my rucksack, man. I'm bringing military gear. Got my big rock, man. I got a poncho in there somewhere. I remember Yashabun bought that. I hope it's in my rucksack, man. I'm the full rock, man. That thing's it's heavy, man. Probably close to 100 pounds. Got the kitchen sink in there.
He like yeah, man. I've been before.
My bag is full, but Shalaki. My bag is full, but I was wondering if anybody's bringing iron.
What?
Because I'm all.
You're gonna need an iron for outside, dude.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to cover all the bases.
They bring no iron, man.
Okay. All right.
Staying outside.
You ever hear that, man? What the hell is that, man? Been filmed, man. We're supposed to be looking like Israelites in the wilderness. He's talking about bringing an iron.
All right, that's cool.
You ain't gonna have nowhere to plug it up unless you're staying in the cabin.
Okay. I think the only stupid question is the one you don't ask.
All right, man.
Everybody have a safe travels tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to double check.
You said around 9?
Yeah, I'm gonna be up by like 7, so I could take the bus. So I have like an hour. You know what I'm saying, to get myself together before the train arrives, and then it'll be there by like 9. And it says
that distance, man. See how far that is from me, man. Yeah.
And this says it's a 12-hour ride, so I won't be in South Carolina till like 9. But I'll give y'all a call as soon as I touch down there. And then I got everything I need or whatever. They was also talking about, I read on the they saying it's that it's a federal something, a federal thing that I gotta wear the mask. I'm gonna hit them with the, I got a medical.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I wouldn't make a big deal out of that, man.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want to not be able to get on, man. I pick my battles with that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I pick my battles with that, man.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I ain't going. I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and if I'll put it on in the beginning, and I'm gonna rock on the train without it, cause you know what I mean. They're not gonna be watching like that. I'll go to sleep. I don't know. But if anything, I don't want a problem because I'm trying to get there, so I ain't worried about it that much neither.
Mhm.
Yo, where's Ali Nefertali, man?
Yeah, I ain't seen him on the call tonight. Did you? Well, yeah, he's in the
Yeah,
group.
he was in there
chat.
earlier.
That's a good question.
I wanted to see. Should I bring some? Y'all, anybody gonna bring some pots? Cause I wanted to see we could boil some water out there. You know, probably make a fire if possible. If they got a fire, they probably got a fire pit.
What? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a grill, man. I've been to the KOA grounds. They have grills in certain locations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if not, man, you know, we'll just buy a grill, man. You know, but I think you know there's a specific location for a grill or whatever.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
Pot? Nah, man. Ain't nobody bring no pots, man.
I'm trying. I'm trying to make some tea, man. Bring my green tea and stuff like that. I gotta have my tea.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can make tea, man. But I mean, you can do that on the grill, though, can't you?
I never tried it, but
In a
I
metal
can
cup.
say, yeah.
I mean, you get hot water from somewhere, man. Yeah. Like the KOA, they typically have outside showers, also, man. At least the one I went to before.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did have showers on there. So yeah.
Yeah, they got a little bathroom there, man, with showers.
Yeah, I was gonna bring a blender too, but I don't think it's necessary.
Nah, I'm just gonna be roughing it.
Yeah. Me too. I'm
And
about to
just bring the tea, and you just you make it into a soup or something.
Right. Yeah, I'm about to unpack that blender right now.
Yeah. So, all right, man. I need to try and get some sleep. Most I will, man. I didn't even finish.
Come
Con.
Shalom.
This stuff, man. I got a long drive.
Shalom.
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 Shalom.